Greetings to all. Hotel to my peeps. This is a bit of advice. This question, where do you get this from, might save you some waste of time. Now, not long ago, in one of my French videos, because as I told you, it's a trend now, it's a new fashion to claim that Prophet Muhammad was black. I quoted the Sahih Bukhari where he is described as Al-Rajul Abiyad, which means white man. Sahih Bukhari, Sahih meaning authentic, Sahih Bukhari happening to be considered to be the most reliable hadith. So when it comes to the Sunnah, there's no disputing this. And I asked them to provide a quote from a hadith, Sahih hadith, preferably Bukhari, if not Bukhari, any hadith, no quote. They are still down with their linguistic acrobatics. And what's funny to me is that some of them claim that Prophet Muhammad was black because back then Abraham got down with a black woman according to their literature. So basically to claim that a person was black in the 6th century, they talk about somebody who is alleged to have lived 2000 BC. Does that make sense to y'all? It doesn't. Anyway, in one of those videos, somebody wrote, it's still there, he wrote, in the Quran, Muhammad described Moses as being black. That's what he wrote. So I was like, oh, for real? I asked him to give us the quote. He never gave us the quote. Amazingly, with such a lack of integrity, of not showing and proving, he kept on going about other stuff. Really, when you make such a claim, if you don't have the integrity to say, my bad, I was wrong, or I was misled, somebody told me that, I didn't check, no matter what, instead of admitting that it doesn't say that in the Quran, at least he should have just bounced and stepped out of the way. But he's still there running his mouth and say, well, in this literature it says this and that and that. Lack of integrity. So, another example. One day I was talking to some guy I know. And I know him well. I know him for years. We used to play basketball and all that. We were discussing, and he said to me, in the Bible, it says you shouldn't cheat on your wife. But he also says you shouldn't get the wrong wife. In French, it's a word play because the word to cheat is basically the same word as picking the wrong one. But I'm not going to go into the linguistic explanation. It's just going to confuse people. Okay? So I asked him straight away, where does it say that? He started stuttering. You have people who have a habit of making claims like that. Now, some people will make a claim without citing a source, whether it's an individual or a book. All right? But some people claim that person said this or that book says that. It doesn't hurt to check because sometimes they might have just made a mistake. They might give you the wrong passage, or it might just be flat out wrong and they did not check. So it's worthy for you to check. Now, some people claim that King James was black. And from what I've seen so far, that's paintings where we're supposed to guess that he's black. There is a DVD from Ashwa Kwezi where he shows, I think it's a painting, but it's supposed to represent one of those Essenes, okay? This Essene sect who was quote unquote going against the grain. One of those paintings, the guy is like tanned. And if I'm not mistaken, we are told that this is a depiction of Jesus. So apparently it's sufficient. Just like some people will show you paintings in Ethiopia, where you have those patriarchs, where you have those biblical figures painted as black. But what is the time period of this painting? Is it contemporaneous? Is it contemporaneous? That's the big question. Because a Chinese guy might just paint a Jesus, a Chinese way, and he said, "Oh, this is Jesus. Here's the painting of Jesus." Now, there's another one. A guy called Ali Mohammed. The same one who showed his alleged doctorate degree, PhD degree, with a spelling mistake on it. People don't really talk about that anymore. He showed it publicly with a spelling mistake. Now you tell me if that has ever happened, that a university issued a doctorate degree or PhD with a spelling mistake on it, which prompted the people to say that this was a fraud. This was not a real degree. Sometimes people like to call themselves doctor, and at some point people say, "Well, you're a doctor of what? Where did you get your degree from?" So they might just go online, find whatever they want as a model, and print something out. And that's called when keeping it real goes wrong. But anyway, he's on tape showing the Prince of Wales. The Prince of Wales. Edward, the Black Knight, if I'm not mistaken. And he claimed that he was black. Now, you can go online, type Edward, the Black Knight, Edward, Prince of Wales, and look at the pictures and see if you can find any depiction of him looking damn near black. So many people are gullible, and when some people make lectures or presentations, they show some stuff on the screen and they say, "This is him, this is that, that's that event." And sometimes people go, "Wow," and they clap. Gullible. We need to get past that. Once again, I've said that a long time ago. Back then, those people used to teach in their temples. They used to teach behind closed doors. But now, because they're putting their stuff online, it goes to the scrutiny of whoever wants to address the topic. And it doesn't fly anymore to make claims that cannot be backed up or that are inaccurate. But there's one thing that is real sad, is the friendship scholarship. Now, a lot of people who put their friends forward, defend their friends, present them as scholars, as teachers, just because they are cool. And that will not help the people to advance, to progress. To make an analogy, it's like you're a ruler of a territory or a country and you put your family on. Your wife is the Ministry of Finance. Your brother is the your wife is the Minister of Finance. Your brother is the Minister of Defense. Your brother-in-law is the Minister of Culture, and so on. So basically, your family has the country on lock. No democracy. Now, I know some of you will say, well, democracy is the rule of demo, which means demon. If you believe that, hey, it's good for you. Knock yourself out, suit yourself. That's a very bad thing. You probably know of some people who keep pushing some individuals forward as scholars and teachers, or even master teachers, just because they're cool. just because they are cool. So that was 10 minutes. But remember, you might as well take that habit of asking, where do you get that from? Now, if you wonder what kind of answer you should get, well, if someone says, well, there's an artifact that shows Hebrews working as slaves in Egypt. Ask him where you get that from. What you should expect is a reference, a document, an artifact. Have you seen the video where the Hebrew Israelite shows a depiction where some people are working and he said, those are slaves in Egypt. Those are slaves in Egypt. Those were actually workers, just doing laborers, just working. You understand what I'm saying? And most of the time, when you go to such artifacts, no matter which book it comes from, as long as it's someone that has a little credential, most of the time it will say laborer working, worker doing this and that. There's no mention of slaves. Just like, for example, Wesley Mohammed, PhD. This dude did a lecture, and his own lecture said prisoners of war. But he said those are slaves. So prisoners of wars become slaves. So this is the kind of thing that you should expect. Now, if somebody is citing an individual, then you expect to have the actual book. If someone is citing biblical literature, you can expect to have the passage so you can go and check it. It's just not difficult at all. But many people swallow whatever is thrown at them without double checking. And that's real sad. Because a lot of time people speak major BS. Major BS. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. Now, lastly, you have people who do, it's beyond linguistic acrobatics because it's more like wordplay. You understand what I'm saying? Picking a word, switching the order of the letters, saying that this part of the word means this, and so on, so on, so on, so on. I saw a video of a dude who was asked, do you believe in reincarnation? And he started talking and saying, well, actually, reincarnation, you have car, and car is a vehicle. What does reincarnation have to do with a car? But some people get you like that. Some people really get you like that. Another example, the word more. Many people claim that the word more doesn't mean black. I think I've made enough quotes regarding that. Some people will tell you it means navigator. Some people will tell you it means all those things. And amazingly, when we come to find out that this comes from a Greek term, which basically means black at some point, they're silent about that. So people need to be thorough. Being accurate doesn't mean being perfect. I don't think anyone on this earth is perfect. But the level within the so-called conscious community is real weak. And it shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so at all. I will end on this. The fence riding will set us back years back. Beware of those fence riders. Okay? Beware of those fence riders. You can have a bunch of individuals who, quote unquote, go against the grain, who don't share the popular worldview of this Abrahamic belief system, and some of the people who claim to be down with the traditional black way or African way, but at the same time fence riding and trying to validate those Abrahamic belief system as if it belongs to us, as if this is our history. Um, and they are just trying to appeal to these Abrahamic believers to get more followers, to get more money. It's messed up when you have fence rider. Fence rider is like you being on a battlefield, and you're part of an army, and some people are part of your army, but they're cool with the other side as well, with the opposite army. It's just a waste of time. Beware of those individuals. They are plentiful. So do not hesitate, once again, to share some claims that you've heard, that you were told, which seemed bold, crazy, unbelievable, strange, weird, whatever. Or even some claims, something that you were told that you just didn't know about, that surprised you. I didn't even know that fact. You understand what I'm saying? Now, one example, I've read a hadith that says that if someone leaves Islam, he should be killed. Well, not long ago, I was surprised to find out that it actually says in the Quran that the people who go away from Islam should be killed. And I was surprised. I didn't know. I thought it was only in a hadith. That's just an example. All right, people, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will definitely holler back at you later.